show where you start the early AM then with my pretty face. You didn't have to laugh. You didn't. Alright, welcome to Good Morning Sri Lanka. I am your host, Jason, and of course the great Anu is on the show.
Hi, good morning.
It's been a while again.
Yes.
It's just like a gap of like 2 weeks between
I know. Why does it always happen to us?
No idea. But I think
and why are you dressed like Batman?
This is not
without the cape.
Without the cape. It's just a black t-shirt and just...
Yeah, but you're totally black. Look at those boots. Is it because of the rain or... They're really nice, by the way.
You could say that. You could say it's for
They're really nice, by the way.
Thank you so much. Well, enough of my boots.
Yeah.
What did you do this weekend?
I danced.
You danced?
Yes.
Where'd you dance? In the rain?
Yes. How did you know that?
Get out of town, really?
No, seriously, I always dance in the rain. I love the rain. I absolutely love it. And even while it's flooding, it's lightning and thundering, I would still go out and dance.
Alright, so this weekend I actually, I tried to go around the country to take a look at a couple of locations. But then, I didn't have the time, unfortunately.
Oh.
I came across this, there was a launch of this book that actually just walked by, it just struck me. I was like, wow, this is pretty great. So today our guests actually are going to be the photographers of the book. The book is called The Gem of the Indian Ocean.
Oh, nice.
It sounds pretty cool as well, right?
Yeah, it sounds pretty cool, and it's very interesting that we're talking about the gem of the Indian Ocean during this time of the year, don't you think?
Yes.
When Sri Lanka is being spoken about so many different places.
Especially that whole Lonely Planet thing.
Yes, I know.
Wow, that's a great milestone for us.
Yep.
All right, so in the studio today we have two photographers, Ifam Raji and Tracy Rich. Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning.
Jason. Morning, Annie.
Hi. How are you doing this morning?
Fine. Pretty good.
Okay. Are you morning people?
Well, I am actually.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
I'm early riser.
Yeah. Looking at these pictures, I kind of figured out the early morning pictures.
Yeah, that's
forest.
pretty amazing. All right, so this is the book, Sri Lanka, the Gem of the Indian Ocean. In case you're wondering who wants to. All right, this is okay. What inspired you to? Now, this is a collection of different locations in the country, like not even locations, like things that we see every day, but we take for granted, like you pointed out earlier.
Yeah.
What inspired you to make this book?
It was originally a book that we were going to produce. We met about 10 years ago when we were photographing elephants in Minaria.
Right.
And we decided we wanted to do a book then, and it's been in the back shelf for that long until the last couple of years when we decided that we wanted to actually take it a little bit beyond just the elephants and things like that, and actually do a book to just promote Sri Lanka and how fantastic it is. So that was the initial idea about it all.
Right. So this was over a decade ago.
Yeah.
Wow. You know each other for
And
10
Tracy
years?
came just to photograph elephants.
Right.
And she fell in love with the country,
Oh,
its wildlife, and also the culture and history. So, and we decided why not?
Right. So you looked at the
together.
photographs as well, and you were like, you know what, this would be a great collaborative effort if we both
Yes,
work
exactly.
together.
Yeah.
And then
That's
came
how
out
it
with this
started.
book.
It's brilliant because we've sort of crossed the boundaries, don't we, from the UK to Sri Lanka to be able to put this together, to be able to celebrate the country really
Yeah.
in all its glory and all its diversity. So
That's pretty amazing. Right, so Ifam, could you tell me a bit about this book? What's inside this?
Well, this is actually, you could say, different facets of Sri Lanka.
Right.
Because that's why we called it the Gem of the Indian Ocean. Of course, I'm a gem businessman.
Right, by profession.
For profession. So Tracy and I decided that we should focus on my business
Okay.
as the theme of the book. So
Okay.
then we thought Sri Lanka has different facets of life, and we wanted it to be reflected in those facets. And I was also collecting a few pictures of culture, history, landscape, and she saw it and she said, this is good enough for a book, let's start doing it. And we thought there isn't much available in the market, of something. We wanted to show something for
That
the
is
international market,
Yeah.
where tourists could really come back and take as as memories.
Right.
About
It's
our
more
country.
like a souvenir book.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
something
is.
like
yeah,
that.
It covers everything about Sri Lanka, like you said, landscapes,
Yeah.
history, culture,
Yeah.
even food. It's all in this book. It's all in this book. If you can see, this is gorgeous.
I mean, these are some amazing pictures. I just scrolled through this in the makeup room just a few minutes ago. Some amazing photography. Now, it ranges from wildlife photography to landscapes to food.
History, culture.
Yeah, history, culture. The list goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it challenging for you, Tracy, if I may ask you? Like to take photos of something that you've never seen before?
yeah, it was very challenging. Fortunately, if I managed to set up connections and things so that we could actually get right to the nitty gritty of like the food pictures and things like that.
Right.
We could actually do it from the home perspective rather than just having it all set up in a studio. So
Yeah.
all of this is taken on location just as it is.
Okay.
And also interviewing locals about their stories to do with Sri Lanka. So most of the research came from on the ground talking to people, which
Right.
was really, really nice.
That's
It was
amazing.
brilliant.
How long did it take for this book to like put this together?
Well, actually, photographically, I've been photographing for this, not exactly for this book, but I've
Okay.
collected photographs which are in this book now
Right.
for the last 10 years.
Oh, so you didn't know that this book was going to be made?
No,
You were just like
no,
doing this as a
But
passion.
we seriously planned it 2 years ago.
Okay.
Okay.
So, and we did some extra photography last year when Tracy came.
How many times have you been to Sri Lanka?
I've been 3 times now.
3 times.
Yes, yeah.
And the first time was when you said you were at Mineria.
Photographing elephants for another book,
Photographing
yeah.
elephants,
And that's
yeah.
how we met.
All right.
Through a passion for wildlife, yeah.
Yes, both of you share a very similar passion. And I was just wondering, since when were you interested and more passionate about wildlife photography and photography as a basic?
Photography is sort of in my family, I have to say. My father's a photographer
okay.
as well. And the wildlife, I've always been interested in wildlife. In fact, I'm a zoologist by training, so yeah, it was just a natural progression for me.
Okay, so ever since you were very small, you
Yeah,
started
yeah,
photographing.
absolutely.
Okay. And Ifan?
I could say probably the same thing. I've, since I was young, I've been watching all these wildlife programs, and I just happened to, have.
Wait. You were a fan of Survival.
That's right.
Yes, I read about that.
You remember the Anglia series?
Yes, I
Survivor?
do, yeah.
I really enjoyed those.
Okay.
And so that, I really had, wanted to take pictures going out to our wild, and we had wildlife at our backyard.
Yes.
So why not? And I didn't have to fly to Africa to take shots.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We are so lucky to have such beautiful animals
Yeah.
to take
In Sri
pictures
Lanka
of.
itself, yeah.
Right. I
So
asked
is it
this question from every photographer that comes and sets foot in the studio. What is your favorite park in this country? A lot of people would say Patu, some would say Yala.
Well, actually, Yala was my favorite park.
Okay.
But I guess everybody
that
knows why it's not anymore.
Yeah.
It's a lovely park, but
Yeah.
a lot of things has happened, and I wish things will get better. There are people
Right.
working on it.
Yeah.
But right now, I think Vilpattu is. I feel so relaxed when I go to Vilpattu. There isn't much animals there. Finding a leopard is very tough. Not like in Yala. Yala we are spoiled for leopards.
So all these
in Vilpattu?
pictures of the leopards you got, were they from Vilpattu?
No, mostly from Yala.
Okay.
There are few from
So these are
Vilpattu. As
pretty
you
old
can
in
see,
that
the first page.
The first page.
Just turn the first page. The flap. The first flap.
This one over here, I think.
Yeah. Now
Oh,
that's
this
at
one.
Vilpattu.
Nice. Check that out.
That's a very rare shot. I was extremely lucky to get this shot. We were in the park for 3 days, and it was
Okay.
raining,
Right.
and we were so frustrated, and we knew that we are not going to get a shot. And
You
we
were there
were
for 3 days.
3 days.
Okay.
Okay. So usually we stay 3 to 5 days.
All right.
So 3 days nothing, and we were after this mother with a small cub.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, we were circulating that area.
Right.
All right.
It rained, and the last day we were leaving, it stopped raining, and the sun broke out.
Wow.
There this leopard. We were just looking around, and we saw the leopard out on the road. It has got wet, and it's drying itself,
Ah, right.
and the sun
Somebody
falling
have
on
a
its
sunbath.
head. I was
What time of the day was this?
it was around 7:30.
7:30.
And how long did you wait?
It was very quick. I think I managed to only get 2 shots.
All right.
That's
Wow.
how it is.
And so he just left.
He left
Okay.
because it's a mother, and it's got a cub.
Oh, it's a sheep,
I'm sure
right.
she's a mother, and she's got a cub there, and probably she was me around somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
And she was very shy.
Now, your photography is a mixture of a lot of things, like we mentioned before, landscape, and the list goes on. Is it hard to transition from? You said you started off with wildlife photography mostly, transitioning from that into taking pictures of ruins and whatnot.
Well, actually, wildlife photography can be frustrating sometimes.
Okay.
You don't get the shot you want.
Yeah, true. You'd have a lot of
and it's
patience.
expensive. Parks, fees,
Of course, yeah.
and staying in the bungalows, and everything is very expensive.
Yeah.
And landscape is such something which you can do anytime you want, and it's right there anywhere you want.
Yes.
It's the time of the day, and I have taken pictures here. Most of them are at dawn and dusk.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the best time of the day for photography.
With the mist
especially
and all.
landscape.
Yes.
Right.
So I really enjoyed. Culture is something beautiful. We have taken it for granted. We have beautiful culture.
Yeah, I was just actually discussing with them. Many of these pictures, they portray very day-to-day events, day-to-day people, general things that we see around us,
That's
which
true.
we take for granted a lot of times, actually daily. So it's quite fascinating to look at these events in a different perspective. So I'm glad that you captured them.
That was one of the reasons for doing it, because if I'm being a Sri Lankan and me being from England, we can look at it from an inside and outside
Two different
perspective. So that was
perspectives,
that was the idea around the book and how to portray the pictures
Nice.
and culture. So
All right, Tracy. Now, what was the most challenging photograph from this entire book that
Yeah.
you really found like, you know what, this is
ooh,
gonna kill me right now?
Are there a few or just one?
that's a difficult one. There's an awful lot that didn't make the book as well. Oh gosh, actually the food ones were quite difficult. Never ever photographed food before, and it was very tempting to just reach out and go and eat it.
I'm sure. Looking at these pictures make me hungry. Obviously, you're having breakfast out there.
But the other really interesting story that we had in here was actually the story of gemstones, right from the mines all the way through to the polished article, and that was really fascinating for me to see them in the raw, just ordinary pebbles to me, and then see them in the finished article in a piece of jewellery. Amazing.
This is the one that you speak of.
Yeah, absolutely
this is a great
incredible.
sequence. Could you maybe, if you could just point out like how
that's how it is found in the
this one here.
Yeah, it's found from the soil. It's like that. Then they look at the stone with the torch to see where there are inclusions. Okay. And they preform the stone. The third shot, you're taking away all the inclusions. Right. And then the fourth one is after it has been cut and polished. That's the final product.
This is what it looks like.
That's what it looks like.
All right, we're going to talk about more of those lovely pictures over there right after this break. So don't go anywhere.